Hey everybody, it is Brad
and Christa
with a Big Family Homestead, and today has been an exhausting day for me.
For you, yeah.
Yeah, but in a super good way, and I know there's a lot of you guys that are going to be cheering this on. So without any further ado, let's get to business. All right, so Prepsteader Bob and we have been working on this thing called the Self-Reliant Roadshow. Now, in a very short summation, this is how it will work. We will find folks that kind of got themselves into a pickle with a DIY or prep or farm situation that we can come to you and help you out and film it and let everybody share so that we can see, hey, these are common mistakes and we can figure this out together. And we've come to the realization that we are, what's the term? I guess it would be cash challenged. Fair enough.
That'll work.
And one of the main pieces that we need to do that is an ability to get to these homesteads all over the country with tools, with saws, with things like that. And we don't have vehicles that are appropriate. So one of the big things that we had to address, thank God, has already been addressed. Take a look at this. We're on our way, and we think we've got a bead on some buses. Now this is gonna be really cool because these are retired school buses, but they have big diesel engines in them. Some have air ride suspensions for the whole bus, and we're hoping that we can work out a deal with the owner so that we can get something either at cost or maybe even a deal, maybe a trade, I don't know. But we're excited and we are on our way.
So having a bus is going to make this completely doable, where I didn't think that this was going to work. We have 5 kids that are still at home, well, homeschooling. Jonathan is an adult, but you know, there are 5 kids here that are still in school. Well, I can't just up and leave. So. But
if you have a place where you can do school while we're driving.
Exactly.
And you know, I mean, we don't have to stop all the time for junk food because you've got a kitchenette.
There's a kitchenette in there, and I can bring our Thrive stuff and make food all we want.
So, but tell them what you really thought when we were just kind of brainstorming this last 2 weeks ago.
Well, I thought we were going to have to drive around in our van, and I was like, no, sorry, no, not happening. That would just be miserable for everybody.
On wheels for sure. So Derek, is the dentist chair here gonna stay?
It can definitely stay.
This is awesome, but I gotta say one thing. No yelling on the bus!
Well, if everything works out, it looks like we will be driving the Bloodmobile.
So in 2001, Allison redesigned their transmission. They went to an Allison 2000 standard on buses, and they're pretty well bulletproof. I mean, this is the tranny you want if you're going to have one. So
yeah. So now, what about the seat warmers? Where are the seat warmers?
Yeah, you create that yourself.
All right. Yeah, I see. Eat beans.
It's higher miles, but again, it's equipment. I mean, these motors can run to 1,000,000 miles if you take care of them.
You know, anything in that, even 250,000 miles or less on a inline 6 diesel engine is just break-in mileage. It's not that big a deal. So.
Well, you know, it's all ball bearings these days. It's all ball bearings.
This is a DT466.
Okay.
It's another inline 6, which are always solid engines.
Always.
Truck chassis wise, it should be a good fit. Most people actually want the DT466. That's what they're looking for because they're readily available. Price is down on them. This is a.
What about consumables like air filters and all that?
Yep.
That should be
readily available. Readily available. You can find plenty of international dealers around the country. There's usually a truck dealer within every 100 miles. So if anything major happens, you always got that as a backup. But they've been around forever. They're kind of bulletproof in that sense until they started really monkeying with the emissions in 09, or 07, I guess. So this is right before they got crazy on the emissions.
And one of the real big blessings of this, most people don't realize, well, maybe most people do, is buses are built for children. These things are built like a tank. They're made for safety and for rollover protection. So,
Well, that'll definitely help with your driving.
So one of the things that has been an honest regret of my life is the fact that when I was in the band, touring musicians, flying places, driving places, had a tour bus, all that kind of stuff, I always regretted not being able to bring my family along.
Yeah.
Because we were getting to see all these cool places and they were stuck at home in Bradenton, Florida.
Well, it was, we were really poor then.
Yeah.
And we had little kids then, and it was not going to be an easy thing to do. We went a couple of times with you, and it was kind of a nightmare.
Yeah, so...
we'd have to bring strollers and cribs and diapers and all this other gear, and it's like, okay, now we don't have to do that.
Yeah, and now the kids are a little bit older too, where they can kind of take care of themselves on a lot of stuff that would have not been able to do with an infant.
Right.
And so I'm just super excited that this is moving forward in the direction that we've crossed one of the big hurdles right here.
Yep.
We still have to figure out how to pay for it. That's a whole other story.
That's a whole different story.
But, yeah.
Listen to this baby purr. It's like a beautifully overweight kitten. I don't know what I'm talking about.
it wants to go on a road show.
Okay. These folks have been incredible, bending over backwards to make sure we got the right buses and not just a bus. It was so much, I guess the word would be almost like concern. They wanted to make sure we got the right bus and not just another sale.
They were being very professional.
Yeah, and well, having an experience with my band background, it's not very common in the bus industry to find people that actually care about you.
Yeah, it's been a real blessing here today. I mean, it's been what we refer to as being God obvious. It's being a real blessing all the way around. So this bus that we're looking at or that we're in right now, there's pluses and minuses to any frame or any situation that you put yourself in. But the way the road show is going out to where Mrs. B and I would do more of the pre-construction and getting things set up, and then Big Family Homestead would come and show up and help out. I think we found our buses.
Well, and that, guys, this is a huge step. This was the biggest step.
Yes.
To confirm that this is what God wants us to do. And I'm excited about it.
So we are really getting excited about being able to, as a family, go together and help some folks out. I honestly can't wait.
It'll be fun, I think. Because to be honest, in the homesteading, prepping, self-reliant DIY crowd, we've met very few people that we would not want to hang out with again.
Exactly.
I mean, there's obviously some prickly pears out there, but you find them and you just go hi, and then you say hi, and then you go hi, and they go hi.
The cool thing is that we're all like-minded. We want our goal is very similar in being self-reliant and doing things for ourselves. So, yeah.
And so if you want to get involved in helping us out with the renovation, there's always Patreon. We greatly appreciate all of our patrons because we're going to have to do this piece by piece, stick by stick. We're going to find the best deals, and then we still got to figure out how to pay for the buses.
Yep.
But,
and scrapyards and whatnot, fun
but
stuff like that.
We do believe God is in control of the situation, and I'm not scared.
Well, and we're not going to spend a ton of money on this bus. This is going to be a very frugal thing that we're going to be doing. So
let me just say this, that the guys that we got these buses from, Prepsteader Bob's bus and our bus, they bent over backwards to help us out.
Yeah.
And not only, I don't want to talk about numbers because They're all different, but I will put some information in the video. You guys got to check this out.
Yeah.
The prices on these buses are ridiculously cheap.
Yes. And so if you guys are wanting to travel or just have a weekend camper and not spend a ton of money on, this is the way to go.
Trust me, you need to look up the prices on these buses.
Yes, exactly.
Because I was shocked. I'm like, why are you selling that one so cheap? What's wrong with these?
What's wrong with this?
What's wrong with these?
What's wrong with this?
And he's like, no, this is how he worked it out, and it was great.
It's crazy.
And so we're excited, and that brings us one step closer to coming and visiting with you and helping out.
Yep.
So with that said, I am Brad.
I'm Christa.
You guys have an amazing day.